So just at the moment, because this is going to be live streamed to both YouTube and Facebook, we've got about a 6-minute delay while we're waiting for Facebook to be ready. All right, this all has to be pre-programmed, so there's a 9 o'clock start time. So just be patient. I appreciate that you're all getting ready to shoot inside that tent behind there. But just be aware, in 6 minutes we'll have a small opening ceremony, an acknowledgement to country, and then we'll be moving on from there. Okay, so it won't be too far away. Thank you. Okay, good morning everybody to the Hoyt National Match Play Series Finals here in Victor Harbor in South Australia. First of all, I'd like to open by passing on to Brett to do an acknowledgement of country.
Thanks, Pat. We would like to acknowledge the Rummanjeri people of the Ngarrindjeri Nation as the traditional owners of this land on which we meet and play. We respect and acknowledge their spiritual connection as the custodians of this land and that their cultural beliefs are still important to the living people today. Thank you.
Thanks, Brett. I appreciate you doing that for us. All right, so the National Match Play Series has been around for quite a few years now, and what it's done is we're trying to promote archery and match play throughout all of the states in Australia so that everybody's first time of shooting match play isn't at a national championship or at a world event. It gives everybody a chance to have a go in their states, travel to other states and to build some relationships with different archers, get to shoot with the national team and then come to an amazing venue like this in the finals where the top 4 shooters from around the country have competed in 6 events in all the different states to get points together to see who is the best in the country in 2019. This is the first time for us getting into a live stream, and I'm certainly no presenter, but thank you to David Gaze and to Rachel for getting this up onto YouTube and to Facebook. They've been putting in some massive time here. I know David's been the first one in on the grounds and the last one out each day. Today we're blessed with some overcast conditions and about 24 degrees. We've been taking it pretty hard with the heat out on in Back Valley and Victor Harbor with some days cracking around 40 degrees. Yesterday was the end of the Eastern Australian Open, and we had some great results there. And it was great to have everyone here in Victor Harbor. So what happens today? We're going to start off with some semi-finals. So they're all shot at the same time. And it might be a little bit much initially when you're watching the live stream. You'll see arrows sort of going everywhere because there'll be so many matches going on. So please bear with us, get through the semi-finals, and then we'll be getting into individual stuff. So what will happen then is it'll be alternating arrows, and you'll actually get to see the archer, the arrow hit the target, and the result of them, well, just putting together what they do. So the next hour or so is going to be the semi-finals, deciding who's going into the bronze medal match, who's going into gold, and you'll get to see that this afternoon. All right, so what we're going to do now is pass on to the 70-metre practice. So this is the Recurve event. This is the event that you'd actually see at the Olympic Games, okay? So these guys, and quite a few of them are trying out for places at the World Championships, and the World Trials are going on in Victor Harbor on Monday and Tuesday. So no further ado, I'll pass on to the judges. I hope you enjoy the live stream, and please provide us with feedback, obviously nice stuff, and enjoy yourself today. All right, thank you very much.
Good morning. So this is the Archery Australia 2019 National Match Play Series Finals conducted by Victor Harbor Archery Club. Our sponsors are Hoyt and Pat's Archery, and a lot of help from Victor Harbor Removals. You can see their big van by the side of the ground, and that is most of the infrastructure that we've used for the ground setup. The director of shooting is Jim Larvin, very experienced. Our head judge, Eric, is our head judge, and the team of judges working both at the shooting line and at the target line. Our video and audio is brought to you by David Gaze and his team, assisted by Paul and Justin. Your commentators, James Park, assisted by Taylor Worth. Yeah. Taylor is, of course, one of our top and most accomplished recurve archers, and hence a very good commentator. On the practice field at the moment are all the recurve archers. On target 1, we have the 1st and 4th ranked archers. That's David Barnes, Alec Potts. On target 3, we have the 2nd and 3rd ranked recurve men, Aston Darcy, Ryan Tyack. On target 2, we have the 1st and 4th ranked women's recurve, Sarah Haywood, Laura Paglis. And on target 4, the 2nd and 3rd ranked recurve ladies, Alice Ingley and Taylor King. So they will have 2 ends of practice, and then we'll have the matches. Now at the major world tournaments, the semi-finals are usually conducted with the archers shooting simultaneously, aren't they, Taylor?
Yeah, they are.
And so in the concurrent shooting, each archer gets 120 seconds for 3 arrows, Taylor?
Yeah, 120 seconds to get their 3 arrows off while they're shooting. But in the practice ends, they can use the whole 120 seconds to shoot as many arrows as they like.
Just that they shouldn't shoot outside the time limit.
No, of course not.
So what are they trying to do in the practice here, Taylor?
So usually in the morning, they're trying to get maybe as many arrows as they feel like they need to get out of the bow to warm their bodies up. Make sure their sights are right. Maybe check their spare bow if there's time. But mainly just make sure their body's working, feeling good, ready for the competition that's about to start.
Looking down at target 4, the ladies, that's Alice and Taylor, their arrows are pretty well centred. Target 2, they're tiny touch low. Target 1, that's David and Alec. Well, they've just filled up the gold. And Aston and Ryan, they've pretty much filled up the gold too. Just a tiny touch to the right. So the structure of the matches for recurve is by sets. So perhaps we explain how that works.
So with set score on the recurve side of things, it's 1st to 6 set points, and each archer will shoot 3 arrows per set, and the highest scoring archer will gain 2 set points. But if they tie the set, then they'll get 1 set point each.
And it's first to 6.
Yes. So you can either win 6-0, or you can go all the way to a tie at 5-5 and go for a shoot-off.
And in the shoot-off, if it's they both shoot 10s, Taylor?
So with the recurvers, if you both shoot 10s in a shoot-off, then you shoot again.
And then it's closest to the middle.
Then closest to the centre after that.
As far as I can tell, there's almost no breeze. It's a little different to what it was yesterday. Yesterday it was mighty hot, not humid, which was, thank goodness, and it was mighty windy. But today, much cooler, and I can't see any movement in the trees at all.
Today seems pretty much perfect. So great conditions, and we should have some really high caliber shooting today.
Yeah, the venue is the Memorial Gardens on the foreshore of Victor Harbour. So it's probably the greenest bit of grass in South Australia. Down each side there are very tall Norfolk Island pines. It's totally a gorgeous place.
Yeah, it's a really nice venue for a finals. It's probably one of the nicest ones I've seen domestically in a very long time. It's great to see that Victor Harbour Archery Club and all of the organisers have managed to get this working really well.
So archers, this is your second and final end of practice. sort of draw weights would they be using, Taylor?
Typically the men at the high end, like these 4 guys are of the side, they're probably using anywhere between sort of 46 to 52 pounds. And I think the women possibly between kind of 38 to 40 or 42.
So they're all pretty strong.
All very strong, yeah.
Much more than you'd find for the average club archer.
Well, they're out there training pretty much every day, so this is like nothing to them. So if you're out there shooting a couple hundred arrows every day, the stronger you get, the easier it is.
And your draw weight when you shoot, Taylor?
My draw weight at the moment is about 47 pounds.
So pretty strong. I shoot a bit of recurve, but I'm not so strong as these guys. I shoot 37. I'm weak.
It's all relative, Jim. You're as strong as the time you put into it.
Yeah, that figures.
We're always trying to get stronger. It's just a matter of balance. So you could run out there and you shoot 55 pounds if you wanted to, but if you can't control it, then you're going to shoot pretty poorly. So you've got to get stronger, but you've got to be able to maintain whatever bow weight and draw weight you're shooting for an entire day.
And not overdo it.
No, definitely. We don't want to risk injury.
No, so we don't want to see club archers trying to shoot the draw weights that these guys and gals are shooting. That would be too much for the average club archer.
It takes many, many years, lots of hours to get that experience up and get that strength up and get the body ready for that.
Let's see what they've done this end. Target 3. So that's Aston and Ryan, pretty well centred. Couple of arrows in the red. Target 1, they've just filled up the 10. That's pretty impressive. Target 2, so that's Sarah and Laura. All I can see at the moment is Dave. Sarah and Laura, pretty good, maybe a tiny touch low. And Alice and Taylor, really nice group, but it's off to the right. So they'll need to change their sights. Not much breeze tails, so they'd be aiming bang in the middle.
Yeah, I would be, especially during practice, to see if there is anything that you can't notice higher up that's affecting either the arrow flight or some crosswinds downrange. Definitely aiming in the middle to see where your arrows are going and if you need to make any adjustments from there. So if the ladies were on target 4, you said we're a little bit off centre?
Yeah, the ladies in target 4 I thought were out in the 9 to the right.
That could have been if they were shooting yesterday, they haven't quite readjusted their sights from the wind. Or it could just be they're still warming up, it's only the second end of the morning.
Yep, now it's serious. Now it's next one counts.
This is where the competition really starts. See who can rise to it. Not a huge amount of chatter between the archers at the moment. Probably getting ready for their own match, getting inside their own heads.
So, introducing our archers for the semi-finals of the 2019 Archery Australia National Matchplay Series, conducted by Victor Harbour Archery Club, sponsors Hoyt and Pat's Archery, with a lot of help from Victor Harbour Removals. On target 1, our archers. Starting with our archers on target 3. Looking towards the targets, guys. So we have Aston Darcy and Ryan Tyack. On target 1. David Barnes, Alec Potts. On target 2, Sarah Haywood and Laura Paglis. And on target 4, Alice Ingley and Taylor King. So the next arrows are for score. Archers. Archers ready? Target 1. They've both got arrows that look the same, but I think Dave's got a 10 and Alex an 8. And Alec a 9. Dave an 8.
So David's got some bright orange knocks to follow, if that helps, and Alec has some yellow knocks.
Through the telescope, they look the same.
Got to get a better telescope, Jim.
I guess that's right, Tyler. Dave's got another 10.
So is that a 28 or a 27?
I think it's a 28. And a 9 for Alex, so I think Alex got a 26. Looking down at target 4, they're maybe a tiny touch high. Target 2, they're nicely centred. Target 1, so that's Dave and Alec, they're perhaps a tiny touch low. And Ryan and Aston, pretty nicely centred. Still very still and a lovely temperature, at least for we Melburnians. It's a lovely temperature. How's it for the Queenslanders, Taylor?
This is actually quite chilly for us at the moment.
Yeah.
I'm actually wearing a jumper at the moment because I looked at the forecast before coming down and it was all quite warm for the week, so I didn't pack anything warm. So I've had to actually borrow this from David Barnes.
So Taylor's sitting here in a big jacket and I'm here in a light t-shirt. That's a few thousand kilometres of latitude, isn't it?
Just a little bit, yeah. but it's quite dry as well, as opposed to the Brisbane climate, which is very quite humid. I guess I've been there for a few years now, so I'm used to that.
So on target 4, that's the match between Alice and Taylor. It's 1 set point each. The match between Sarah and Laura, it looks like Sarah's got the 2 set points. For the men, looks like Dave has got the 2 set points against Alec. And Ryan and Aston, it looks like Ryan's got the 2 set points.
So only one split set on the field. That means they'll definitely be going to a 4th set, if not a 5th. But everything else could be finished 6-0. We'll have to wait and see how the rest of the ends go.
Looks like Taylor King has got a 10.
Oh,
Alice has got a 10.
Oh, sorry, Jim. Ryan's also open with a 10, and Aston is a 9.9. You have to wait for a judge's decision on that one.
Taylor King on target 4 and 8.
Ryan with another 10.
Alice another 10. These guys and girls are pretty good, Taylor.
Yeah, they're shooting really well today. Aston with a 9, so
looks
Ryan
like
could
Taylor
clinch
King
that.
with an 8.
Ryan's dropped a 9 on his last shot. If Aston shoots a 10 here, he could tie the set, but it depends on that judge's line call. It's a 9 from Aston, so just out of the 10 ring.
Alice got a 9, so Alice has got a lovely 29. And Taylor has got a 26. Alice has got a rather nice group, 2 high in the 10 and 1 just above the 10. Lovely group.
The group on target 1 between David and Alec looks amazing as well. Just 1 flyer out into the red, but I think the other 5 arrows are in the 10.
That's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Like I said earlier, with the conditions that we've got at the moment, with nice still breeze, cool conditions, and nice overcast and good lighting, the caliber of shooting today should be really high from both men and women and Recurve and compound.
Whose is the flyer on target 1? It looks like to me like it might be Alec.
I think it possibly is Alec, yeah, with that yellow knock. But we'll have to wait and see what the judge says.
Victor Harbour Archery Club has done a wonderful job over the last few days. The Thursday, Friday, we were out at the Archery Club in Back Valley, and that was ranking round and eliminations for the Australian Open. Yesterday we were at this current venue on the foreshore of Victor Harbour for the finals of the Australian Open, and today again on the foreshore for the finals of the Archery Australia 2019 National Matchplay Series, sponsored by Hoyt and Pat's Archery. And we had a lot of help in getting the gear here by Victor Harbour Removals. The Victor Harbour Archery Club members have been out at the ground since about 6 a.m. The audio-visual team beat us, however. I don't know what time David and his crew got here, but it was pretty early. What have we got now? We've got, looks to me like Alice is leading Taylor 3-1. Sarah leading Laura 4-0. David leading Alec 4-0. And Ryan leading Aston 4-0.
Yeah.
Ryan's got a 9. Aston got a 7, a little bit low.
So on target 2, looks like Laura has opened with a 9. And Sarah has dropped an 8, just a little bit low.
Ryan got a good 10.
Oh, beautiful shot from Laura. That's an X. It's a great shot.
Nice 10 from Aston.
Good reply from Sarah, but it is a 9. He's 2 points down with
9
one
for
shot
Ryan.
remaining.
So Ryan has a 28.
Looks like Laura has shot an 8, so Sarah could tie this by shooting a 10.
Yeah, Aston needs an 11.
And that is an X. Better than Laura's shot.
8 for Aston.
So it looks like we do have a tie on target 2 this end, so we'll wait for the judge's decision, but we could see a 5-1 on the scoreboard. Alice looks like she's got a good group on target 4. Nice vertical line, just heading a little bit high.
On target 1, Alec has got the light coloured knocks, hasn't he, Taylor? I think. So I'm thinking Alec might have got that set.
Let's have a look. Target 1.
Aston's in the way, of course.
I can see the back of Aston.
I think the 8 is Dave's.
It possibly looks that way. So, by my check, David could have a 10-9-8 to Alex X99.
I think so.
It looks like we will be continuing in these matches, and not many will be 6-0.
As far as I could tell, the match on target 3 probably is finished. So confirming on target 3, Ryan has won the match.
And all the other matches are still continuing. But with the caliber of archers that we've got here this morning, it's not surprising that they're all going to fight for their matches and push as hard as they can. That's not to say that Aston hasn't, but Ryan has been absolutely on fire these past couple of weeks, so he's always going to be a hard competitor to go up against.
Yes, quite so. So we have David leading 4-2 over Alec. We have Sarah leading Laura 5-1. And Alice leading Taylor 5-1.
I'll keep moving along. I'll go target 4. Alice and Taylor.
Dave and Alec.
look like Taylor's opened well with a 9.
Dave has got an arrow just under the X.
Looks like Alice has let down on that shot. Something wasn't feeling right. She's ready to shoot another one. Taylor with an 8. And Alice with an X.
Dave's now got 2 10s. Alec a 9.
Taylor's also shot a 10. So for 10, 9, 8 for 27 points.
Another 9 for Alec. So Dave has got 2 10s, Alec 2 9s.
Alice has shot a 9 on her second shot.
Dave has got another 9. So Alec has got a free practice shot.
Well, because it's 5-1, Alice only needs an 8 to tie the set
And
and
Alec
win the match.
got it in the 10. So Alec has got a 28, Dave a 29. So by our estimation, Dave has won that match.
That's a 7, unfortunately, from Alice. So it looks like she may have lost that set.
He's not on for a little bit, all the compounders. The judge is just getting down to the targets. We'll see what the results are shortly. So Dave has got the match on target 1, 6, 6, 6, 2.
David has been shooting like an absolute monster these past couple of weeks.
So the men's gold medal match will be David and Ryan, and the bronze medal match will be Aston and Alec.
Looks like we've got a result on target 2 with Sarah Hayward winning that last set. So winning 7-1 over Laura. So well done, Sarah. And well done, Laura, for making it to the bronze medal match.
And the Alice and Taylor match continues. So next set, Taylor needs to win the next set or the match is finished. Taylor wins the next set, we've got a shoot off. Otherwise, Alice wins.
What can these two ladies do here in this last set of their regulation match? It's a nice strong opener with a 9 from Taylor. What is Alice's response? That is a 7 off to the right. Exact same spot as her last shot. Taylor has also shot a 7 off to the left. It's anybody's match. Alice chooses to let down to reset herself so she can focus for her next shot. And Taylor's final shot is an 8 for a 9.87.
So Taylor has 24.
That is a 10 from Alice. That's a great response after letting down her last shot.
So it's a 7-7 to win for Alice.
It's a nice easy shot just in the bucket to win the match. And that's an 8. That looks like a win for Alice Ingley. But we will wait for the judges' confirmation on that.
This is the Archery Australia 2019 National Matchplay Series Final, sponsored by Hoyt and Pat's Archery, conducted by Victor Harbour Archery Club on the foreshore of Victor Harbour in a lovely venue. Your head judge is Eric Hallwell. Director of Shooting, Jim Larvin. The audio and visual team run by David Gaze, with help from Paul and Justin. Your commentators are James Park and Taylor Worth. The judges have confirmed that the match has been won by Alice.
So that means Alice Ingley will be shooting off for the gold medal match against Sarah, and Laura and Taylor will be in the bronze. Congratulations to both archers on a great performance.
The ground will now be set to 50 metres for their compounders, for the compound semi-finals.
Now, unfortunately, Jim, this is where I leave you for a few minutes as I go and help my sister-in-law in her semi-final.
Yes, Taylor's got some coaching duties. Thanks, Taylor.
But I will be back for the other recurve matches later on in the day.
Wonderful. Graham, we're ready for the butts to be moved. So the target butts will be moved from 70 metres to 50 metres for the compounders. Now the recurvers, as you could see, they're shot by sets. The compounders shoot by score. In the compound matches, each archer shoots 5 ends of 3 arrows, and it's total score for the 15 shots. I should also mention the great work done by Rachel Coughlin in helping both with many live feeds for the publicity of these events, and also helping with the live feeds today. Rachel's done a lot of video, as has Pat. in these events, it's not always obvious how much work goes into setting everything up and making it look good. Those who've run these events will know that it's no easy task. And the Archery Club and various helpers have done a wonderful job. It's a hard job. They've done it very well indeed, and the way the club members have gone about it is impressive. Quite impressive looking at the Victor Harbour removals truck just over behind the spectators. Victor Harbour removals moved all the target butts and a lot of the infrastructure that we used. A lot of the other infrastructure has been moved by the trailer just behind where the director of shooting and we commentators are sitting, and that's been moved around by Pat. So the target butts are coming up to 50 metres. Target faces are coming off so that the compound target faces can go on. The archers who shot in the Recurve semi-finals, all 8 of them are trying for selection for Australia's team for the World Archery Championships, which will be conducted in the Netherlands in June. For compounders, 5 of the archers shooting in the semi-finals are trying for selection. Sorry, 4. All the men. All the men are trying for selection, not our ladies. So the next 2 days after this event, the Monday, Tuesday, are the selection events. The compounders will have their selection event on Monday at Victor Harbour Archery Club. The recurvers are using both Monday and Tuesday at Victor Harbour Archery Club. So you can see the Victor Harbour Archery Club is doing a great deal and doing it very well. And there's Rachel. How are you, Rachel?
Hello, Jim.
Good, Rachel. It's all working pretty well, I think. All your video work's going all right.
Well, I've been able to just sit back and relax a little bit at the moment because David's been doing everything. It's fantastic having him here today to do this for us.
Yes. And we've got next to us, we've got our director of shooting, Jim. Jim is a very experienced director of shooting. Jim's run Paralympics and World Championships, World Cups. A very experienced director of shooting.
It's good to see you here in Victor Harbour again, Jim.
It's a super venue, Rachel.
Yes, I love living here. It's fantastic.
We think it's the greenest bit of grass in South Australia. South Australia is pretty dry. Not much rain for the last month or so, but this bit is lush.
It certainly is. Jim, I've only just sat down. Where are we? What are we doing right at the moment? What's going on?
This is the Archery Australia 2019 National Matchplay Series final. So the archers in the final have shot in various events around each of the states, and those who had the highest scores from those are here for the final.
So who's competing next?
Next we have our compounders, our men and our ladies compounders in the compound semi-final. So the archers will be Matt McDougall, Pat Coughlin, Darnie Oosthuizen, Adam Bilby in the men, Elizabeth Randall, Madeline Boyle, Katrina Robinson and Jessica Sutton in the ladies. So they'll have 2 ends of practice and then some matches.
Now I might be a little bit biased because my husband is actually competing out there.
He's doing a good job. It's a hard... Look, Pat is helping to run the event. He's doing an amazing amount of work to make the event happen. And now I've tried competing and running the event at the same time. That is really difficult. It's hard work, and your shooting suffers.
Yes, I've been hearing about it.
I think we're ready for the compound semi-finals. Yes, trying to compete and run the event is not at all easy.
Yes, yesterday's event was pretty difficult with awful conditions. It was windy, it was hot. We had a lot of people who felt quite ill from the heat.
Yep, quite hot. Unfortunately, it wasn't humid, was it?
No.
So those from Sydney and Brisbane were probably quite liked it. This from the point of view of a Melburnian is lovely, although Taylor was complaining it was too cold. He's from Brisbane. So our compounders are just getting set up for their 2 practice ends. During the practice ends, they get 120 seconds. They can shoot as many arrows as they like, but they should not go over the time limit. Many arrows as they like in the 2 minutes. Shoot the whole quiver full if they're fast enough. So away we go for the first practice end. And what I'll try to do is just have a look down at the targets and see what their groups look like during the practice.
So who do we have here who is shooting that? Or what are their credentials, Jim?
Well, we've got some really accomplished archers. The most accomplished out of our archers on the ground is Pat. Pat has been many times Australian champion, and Pat has been number 2 ranked in the world. He has won World Cup in France a few years ago, and 3rd in the World Cup final, and he's won many medals at World Cups. So very accomplished. Several medals in the team events in the World Championships. Next to Pat we have Darnie. Darnie has shot in a number of World Cups and World Championships for Australia. He's one of the few Australians who's shot over 700 in a World Cup. Adam is yet to shoot in a international event, but is ripping up through the standard, so he's shooting really very well.
Yes, I've certainly heard about Adam. He beat Patrick in one of the legs this year, and Pat was most upset.
Yeah, Adam's shooting very well. And Matt, I think Matt has shot at a World Cup for Australia, so those guys are pretty accomplished. In the ladies, Liz Randall is New Zealander. I think Liz is already going to the World Championships for New Zealand team. And we've got Madeline Boyle, Katrina Robinson and Jessica Sutton. They're rapidly improving and getting up to the scores where we want to see the ladies for international competitiveness. So they're looking very good.
Being female myself, I have noticed they've got a bit of a theme going with their bows. They all seem to like purple.
They do. It's pretty popular. Actually, the purple's quite nice. They're all the purple bows. They're all Hoyts, and it's a nice colour.
Mm.
What do I see on the bow wise? Remember, this is the event is sponsored by Hoyt and Pat's Archery, and if I look along the bows, what do I see? I see Hoyt, 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 and Hoyt. So Hoyt should be happy.
They must be serious about archery.
I think so.
Get serious, get Hoyt. Apparently that is their slogan, isn't it?
I think that's right, Rachel. We'll have to look at the arrows they're all using, see what they're using there. know they're not all using the same arrows.
Well, I'm going to pass over to Grant Cole, who is the president of AA. I'm sure he will love to have a chat to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
So welcome, Grant. Grant Cole is the Archery Australia president, and you've been president now for a few years, Grant.
Yes, took over from the former Tom Wild, who has passed away, unfortunately, and condolences to his family, and yeah.
And from my experiences on the board of a couple of years ago, it's keeps you busy, Grant.
Yes, there's always something to be reviewed or looked at, and rules and regulations and requests from archers. And
Most archers, in my experience, wouldn't realise how busy the board gets, and the board does do a lot that must happen, and it's important for archery, but not always visible.
No, there's a lot of stuff that we do behind the scenes that nobody gets to see, and neither should they. We should be doing our job so that our athletes here can get on with theirs.
Exactly so, and it does work pretty well.
It does.
Now, I notice out on the ground here we've got some pretty accomplished coaches. I can see Darnie is assisted by his son Darnie Louie. Jessica's assisted by Taylor. That's pretty serious coaching ability. Liz is assisted by Rob Turner. Rob is the development officer for Oceania, and has also been the compound coach for Chinese Taipei. I can see, who else can I see? I can see Alec Potts helping Madeline, and Richie Chia, who's the national para coach, helping who's helping Karina Robinson. So there's aside from the ability on the shooting line, there's some, and Rachel helping Pat, of course. This is Rachel's first time as coach for Pat.
No, I'm sure Rachel's been coaching Pat for many years.
Yeah, I think so too. So some real ability on the shooting line, but also some real ability on the coaching line. You'll see in these events the coaches have to stand back quite a way. That's always the case at the major events. In the World Cups and World Championships, the closest the coach can go is the waiting line, and the coach can't go up to the shooting line except during practice. But when the archers are scoring, closest the coach can go is the waiting line.
So, Jim, with this equipment that we're looking at here, and just for the people who may not know archery as much, what's the sort of speed difference between these bows and our recurve bows?
Well, the recurve bows, the arrows go about 200 kilometres an hour, Grant, and the compound is about 300 kilometres an hour. So it's quite a difference.
That is quite a difference. So you hear a lot of the archers always like to debate that their bow type is more difficult or better to shoot. I think they're just different. But in the wind, is the recurve, because of the torsional hold weight, more stable than shooting the compound?
Yeah, I shoot both, Grant. I swap and change between them, and I think to be good at either of them, it takes a lot of work. So I wouldn't say that one is easier than the other if you're going to be at the top. In the wind, the holding weight on the compound is very low, so you get blown round a lot. The recurve, the holding weight's a lot higher, so it's easier to be stiller in the wind, but then the slower arrows get blown around more. So what is best? I think in a very windy day, it's easier to shoot the recurve.
Okay, well there you go, guys. So if you're shooting in the wind, perhaps consider shooting in recurve.
Yes. That was the conclusion of the second end of practice for the compounders. So the next arrows will be scoring.
So, Jim, what would be the weight difference in the bows too between the males and the females in this?
Typically, Grant, you'd find the men are shooting about 60-pound maximum draw force, and the ladies up to about 50. So the men's arrows go quite a bit faster than the ladies, and so that the ladies will suffer a bit more in the wind.
They certainly still do score well, though.
They really do. So typically, ladies would be 45 to 50 pound. The men are probably all right up on 59 to 60 pound.
So we're about to start off in a minute. So who do we have shooting, Jim?
We'll introduce them as they come out, target by target. On target 3, we have Pat Coughlin, Dani Oosthuizen. On target 1, Adam Bilby, Matt McDougall. On target 2, Liz Randall, Madeline and Jessica Sutton. And on target 4, Madeline Boyle, Katrina Robinson. So 8 very accomplished compounders. We're looking forward to a terrific set of matches.
Good luck, guys.
So remember, in these matches, it's by total score. The archers will shoot 5 sets of 3 arrows each. So it's 15 arrows in total. The matches are decided on total score for the 15 arrows. We'll see if we can follow a few of them. First off, we'll cover Adam and Matt. So Adam has a 9. Matt has a 10. Adam's, so they're both slightly low, but Adams is in the 9. Adams, another 9. Matt with a dead centre X. Adam with another 9, so Adam is 27. Matt, another 10, so it's a 30 with 1X. Pat has a 29, Dani a 29. Got to make sure I know which lady is on which target. Liz has a 28, and Jessica has a 28. Well, I've got them different ways. Liz has got a 10 and 2 9. Jessica's got an X, a 10 and an 8.
Doing well to recognise all those targets down there, Jim.
It's a challenge, Grant.
Would we?
It looks like to me like Katrina has got, well, I'll get in between the archers. Katrina's got 3 9s for 27, and Madeline has got 3 9s for 27. Madeline's slightly higher and slightly to the right. Katrina's a little bit low.
So traditionally archery was a little bit more of a sort of a marathon sport with 144 arrow feeder type ranges. When did all this change and why, Jim?
It happened, Grant, because to be an acceptable event for television, television didn't want to just watch archers stand on the ground for hours and hours shooting lots of arrows. It really needed to have regular results of archer versus archer. Hence, it went to matches. I think that was back in about the early 90s. 95 was the World Championships where that really started to happen. In 96 Olympics.
So this new type of shooting, I mean, I guess when the 144, if you had one or two bad ends, you could probably pull that back a bit. But really, it's one-on-one. It's all about pressure, isn't it?
It really is, Grant. It's the media and the spectators like to see some pressure and some quick action.
So during that period, did the cream sort of rise to this, or was there a changing of the guard because of the capacity to handle this pressure?
The Koreans, I think, started to put a lot of energy into archery nationally in about '88, and it was really then they started to spend money on getting things like company teams and such, and that really kicked them up to the top. Prior to that, it was dominated, I guess, by the US and some of the European countries. But over the time, Australia has done pretty well too.
We do very well on what we have to work with. And
so this is now the second end, and we can see that Pat and Darnie both 29s, Adam at 27, Matt at 30, Liz and Jessica both 28s, and Madeline and Katrina both 27s. Let's follow target number 2. That looks to me like they've both got 10s, so that's Liz and Jessica both with 10s. Actually, Liz is an X. That's a 10 for Jessica. And another X, or no, just out of the X for Liz. Classy shooting, ladies. I think it's a bit easier than it was yesterday in the gusty wind. Three 10s for Jessica. Lovely shooting. Top notch. And 3 10s for Liz. Liz has got 3 10s with 2 X's.
That's some good shooting, ladies.
Both 30s. Target 4. It looks like Madeline, looks to me like a 27. And Katrina a little bit low for a 25. Pat looks like 28. Darnie 28. Matt has got a 29. And Adam 29.
Well, that's all very tight.
Certainly is. As far as I can guess, my guess is that 3 of the targets, the scores are identical.
Well, you can't get much more pressure than that.
This is the Archery Australia 2019 National Matchplay Series Final. It's conducted by Victor Harbour Archery Club on the foreshore of Victor Harbour, a lovely venue. The sponsors are Hoyt and Pat's Archery. And you'll notice the big Victor Harbour removals truck behind the spectators. That's moved most of the gear here. The Victor Harbour Archery Club members have done a stunning amount of work. I was here at 6 o'clock this morning and they were already here setting up the ground. The audio and visual work has been done by David Gaze with help from Paul and Justin. The head judge is Eric Hallel. The Director of Shooting is Jim Larvin. Your commentators at the moment are James Park and Archery Australia President Grant Cole.
Well, this is shaping up to be a great competition today. I think we're going to see some really good shooting here today.
Oh, it looks like on Pat and Darnie are both 57s. Adam 56, Matt 59. Liz and Jessica both 58. Madeline 54 versus Katrina 52. So this is the third end. We'll follow Pat and Darnie. So we're on target 3. X for Pat. Nine for Darnie, just out of the 10. Nine for Pat, just out to the right. 9 for Darnie, just high. X for Pat. So Pat's got a 29. Just high for Darnie. So Darnie's got a 27. 2 arrows just high and one just tiny bit to the left. See what Matt and Adam have done. Adam's got 27. Matt has got 2 right in the middle of the X and a 9 for 29. Target 1. Jessica's got 3 9s for 27. Liz has got a 10 and 2 9s for what else have we got? Madeline's got a terrific group. All just about touching. 2 10s and a 9. And Katrina has got 2 9s and an 8. A little bit sideways.
Well, it still sounds like it could be anybody's match on most of the targets.
So that's the third end. Remember, for a compound, it's 5 ends of 3 arrows each, and the match are decided on total score. If we get a tie, each archer shoots 1 arrow, and it's the nearest to the centre. Although if they both shoot an X, they have another go.
So, Jim, just again for those viewers that we have that may not do a lot of archery, or even those who are new to archery, the setups on these compounds in terms of the way that they're weighting them is a lot different to the recurves. What's the sort of mass weight, not the full weight, but the mass weight of these bows that they're sort of shooting?
The mass weight, they're pretty heavy. Darnie's bow out there, I think, weighs, I think it's getting up towards 10 kilos. I can't lift it up.
That's a lot of mass to hold out there like that all day.
I think he's strong.
He looks strong.
So probably mass weight of these bows is twice the mass weight of a recurve bow, Grant.
Oh, that's
Darnie's though. It's just
and is
yeah.
Is that to assist in their stability to hold in the wind?
Yes, it's try to so they can try and hold the bow stiller.
So it's to compensate for the let-offs.
Yes, basically, Grant. Yes.
Okay, so again, for those who don't know, with these compounds, when they draw back, they might be shooting a 60-pound bow, but it'll probably let off to about 17,
yes.
18 pounds.
Yes, 15 to 20 pounds.
Yeah, and that, of course, makes them harder to hold up.
Yes. So we're on to the fourth end out of 5. Which will we follow, do you think, Grant? Let's do the target 2 with the ladies. Nice close match. 1 point different. So we're following Jessica and Liz. currently 1 point different with point up. So we're on target 2. Liz has got a 9. And Jessica, nearly got the X. Certainly a good 10, nearly an X. That makes the scores equal, in fact. Liz has got a 10. Oh, lovely shot for Jessica, touching the first arrow, barely outside the X. Beautiful shot. X for Liz. I think it's a 10 for Jessica. It's on the line. I think it's probably touching the line, but we need to judge to decide that one. So Jessica has either got a 29 or a 30. I think it's probably a 30. And Liz has got definitely a 29. So if I'm right, that will make the scores equal for those 2 with 3 shots remaining.
So what we're trying to do in Australia at the moment, Jim, we're trying to build more tournaments like this to get our archers used to this competitive pressure that our European and US and Asian neighbours have an advantage on, just due to the amount of competitions that they can put on, and the fact that their countries have such populations that they can get more tournaments than us.
Yes, they just get them all the time every week, Grant.
Yeah, so yeah, we at our club levels and stuff tend to shoot a lot of the older traditional rounds, and we really need to develop more match play in this country.
Yes, one thing I noticed, Grant, that those who go to the international tournaments would know that they're noisy affairs. There's lots of barracking and noise and music, and there's no attempt at all to have people keep quiet when the archers are shooting. And my experience is at the clubs, the club members don't realise that.
Yes, I've seen that many times. In fact, is our audience out there today? Can we hear from the audience? Hello?
I can see some audience. They're not making much noise though. They're waving a little bit.
Yeah.
They're allowed to barrack and yell and scream.
You're allowed to make some noise, people. Just remember that.
The way it works internationally is that the spectators are encouraged to be noisy, but to do that in a fair way, so that you're not trying to put the archer off in the shooting, but there's no attempt at the big world tournaments to be quiet. None at all.
Well, I know that when we prepare our Olympic teams, we actually invite university students and stuff at the training grounds to come in and make noise and stuff to condition them to this type of thing.
Yes, I notice on target 2, our archers have got a tied score with 3 arrows to go. So maybe we'll watch that one again. We'll watch target 2 again.
Sounds good.
It looks to me like Pat is 2 points up on Darnie. Matt is 6 up on Adam. It looks like Madeline is 7 points up on Katrina. So we'll watch target 2.
And anything can happen.
So they're all watching Jessica and Liz. It's a 10-10 for Jessica. Right in the middle of the X for Liz. Couldn't have got more central if you tried. You went and put it in. Liz has got a 9. Jessica has got a 10. That puts Jessica 1 up. with 1 shot to go. Liz has got a 10, so it's Jessica a 10 to win. And it's a good X. So by our estimation, Jessica has won that one.
Some good pressure shooting there, Jim.
Pretty neat, Grant. That's hard.
Yeah.
Particularly with people like us commentating while they're doing it.
Just adds to the pressure.
It does, which is good. What we want the archers, of course, to do is simply concentrate on shooting their shot properly and ignore things like us talking about them. But that's one of the things they have to get used to, because in the big tournaments that happens.
Indeed it does.
Yes. It's quite normal in the big tournaments for the commentator to say, yeah, 10 to win.
Mm-hmm.
The archers just got to get on and shoot the shot, normal process.
Well, when we get down to the final matches, they'll, ladies and gentlemen here will see this a little bit more as we're calling score by score.
Oh yes, absolutely. Every once we go to the alternating, we call every arrow alternating archer to archer. So it's something our archers just got to get used to, because that's the way it comes upon them in the big events.
So Jim, how many countries in the world do you reckon archery is shot in?
Oh, it's a difficult one. The members of World Archery, it must be 190, we think, Grant. It's a lot.
That's a lot of countries shooting archery.
It really is. It's not unusual at a World Cup to get maybe 90 of them turn up.
Well, 90 countries, and they would be teams?
Yes.
So each team would probably have, what, 3 to 6 shooters?
Yes, at a World Cup, each country can take 4 archers of each category, so the men's and women's, compound and recurve. So you can have up to 16 archers. You can have only 1 if you want to, but up to 16. And some countries do indeed take a full complement. And in addition to that, you'd usually see the teams take along a couple of coaches and a team manager. Some of the big teams get even more than that. They take along medical people and masseurs and quite a few. What we would normally do is take our archers, a recurve coach, a compound coach, and a team manager.
Yes, it certainly does take a lot of work in behind the scenes to get teams organised and get them enabled. I've also noticed too a lot lately, or change in this whole World Cup scene, is that we're seeing a lot more para archers out there.
We are, even in the open events. Now we've got some results from the semi-finals, confirming that the winner of the match on target 3 is Pat Coughlin with 143, Tadani 142, Matt 148 to Adam 142, Jessica 145 to Liz 144. They're good scores. And we have Madeline 139 to Katrina 131. So the organising committee, we now need the targets to 70 metres. So Graham and his crew are in the process of resetting the field for recurve.
And then we'll go into some bronze matches.
Yes, so the bronze matches will come next. In the men's recurve, the bronze match will be Aston, Darcy and Alec Potts. The women's recurve, Taylor King and Laura Paglis. In the men's compound, the bronze will be Dani Oosthuizen, Adam Bilby. And in the women's compound, the bronze will be Elizabeth Randall and Katrina Robinson.
So just what we were talking about before, Jim, we're seeing more para archers in these events. I think it's amazing, and it shows just how diverse archery is, that we can combine these type of events.
Yes, Yes, Grant, and the paras, the scores are pretty good. For example, in the men's compound, we're looking at our men to have a chance of doing well. We're looking for scores over 700 for the 72-hour ranking round, and the para compounders are up there too. So they're quite competitive.
Well, that's just amazing.
Yes. One thing I've found is for the people who are not used to the world events, they're not used to just how good the archers are. Locally, for example, for compound men, 700 is a pretty amazing score. In a world event, you could get 700 and come 30th.
And that's why we have such high qualifying scores?
It is, Grant. We're doing two things with the qualifying scores, and both we're making the qualifying scores so that our archers have a reasonable chance at a major international event. But also, over many years, what we've found is if we push the qualifying scores up, our archers do get them. So it pushes the standard up.
It's one of those things, I guess, we just don't know what we're capable of until we're having to reach it.
Exactly so. It was interesting watching, for example, in the 1440 round, a score of 1400 seemed impossible. Then a couple of archers did it, and all the archers said, hey, actually, you can do it. And then a lot got it.
Now, that was an Aussie that did it the first time, wasn't it?
That was Clint, first in the world.
Yes, yeah. And a Tasmanian.
He was.
Yes.
Or still is.
Still is, yes.
Yeah.
And a very, very good archer.
Yes. So what we're finding now in for example, the men's compound, some of the archers have started to score in the world's, over 710. Now, what happens then? The other archers say, hey, it is possible, and then we'll get it. The ladies' compounders are now busting the 700 barrier, and so the other ladies are saying, hey, you can do it. And so there'll be a rush and they'll do it. Similarly in the recurve.
So, with all of that, I mean, this is no longer just about bows and arrows, and this is now about fitness, and more importantly, perhaps even mental fitness.
Yes, that's right. Being able to have the mindset that says we just shoot every arrow as good as we possibly can, concentrating on the arrow you're shooting now, not the ones you have shot or the ones that you will shoot, but saying, for this arrow we're currently about to shoot, let's get the process right, shoot this one to the best of our ability, then we worry about the next one.
So what we're saying there, I guess, is that the score doesn't matter. The shot matters, and the score will come.
Absolutely, Grant. What I tell the archers is get it right back on the shooting line, and the target end will look after itself.
I've always found, and for a couple of young lads that I've coached and stuff, that's a very hard concept to get through to them. That they become very score bound.
Yeah, they really do.
Yeah, and when you can get them to step away from looking at their score and thinking about how well they can execute a shot, their scores do improve.
They'll just go up. One of the things I like to do, Grant, is to say out to the archer, rather than someone down at the target scoring where the arrows hit, let's have the judges watch the archer and score it on what it looks like at the shooting line end.
Well, that's a very nice way of doing it. Unfortunately, we can't score it that way.
No, we can't score it like that way, but pretty good for training.
Oh, brilliant for training, mate. Brilliant. And again, there's not enough emphasis on our training. We've got to get more better recognised training. I think we're doing a lot of work in that area at the moment. There's new programs about to come out.
Yes.
So we're going to see some new things happening soon.
Yes, it's very good.
Mm. So orders now reset.
It looks like the targets are set for the bronze matches, the bronze recurve matches. What we'll have next is the practice for the bronze medal matches. The archers will have, the recurve archers will have 2 ends of practice. And then we move to the bronze matches. Our commentary team has changed again. We're back to your commentators, James Park and Taylor Worth. Taylor's returned from a successful coaching job in the last compound match. That went pretty well, Taylor.
Yeah, it went really well. Just shot amazing. Second highest score of the field, even beating 3 of the other men.
I thought they were really classy scores on that match.
Yeah, they really were. And every time that you were commentating each of those ends, she shot a 30.
She did.
It was only the ends you didn't talk about her that she didn't shoot a 30.
I thought it was a good match.
It was really close between both of the ladies.
Yes.
And just to see the caliber of their shooting increase every year has been amazing.
One thing I've noticed, Kayla, is in matches you often get a very high scoring match where the archer who lost was actually a high enough score to be, I see, often second on the ground. Really fabulous score, but they lost.
That's kind of how it goes in match play sometimes, I'm afraid. I've been in that situation many times myself, where you lose to with the highest scoring losing score on the field, and it's quite annoying. But
I think that happened to you in the Shanghai World Cup last year, didn't it? You shot a fabulously good score, but the Japanese guy just plunked them all in the 10th.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Not much you can do.
No, when you lose in the quarterfinals and finish 5th. But yeah.
Super shooting, but you get someone. That's the way it goes.
Yep. Well, everyone in the world stage in the top 8 or even top 16 these days are all going to shoot amazing.
So we're up to the practice for the bronze medal recurve matches. It'll be 2 ends, all shooting together. We miss.
No.
So we've got all the archers shooting together. On target 3 we've got Aston. Target 4 Alec. So they'll be shooting the men's bronze medal match. And on target 1 we have Taylor. Target 2 Laura. They'll be shooting the ladies bronze medal match after we've had 2 ends of practice. This is the Archery Australia 2019 National Matchplay Series Final. The sponsors are Hoyt and Pat's Archery. And you'll notice the big Victor Harbour removals van over behind the spectators. That's been used to get most of the gear to the ground yesterday and today. The event is being run by Victor Harbour Archery Club, and we're competing on the foreshore of Victor Harbour, a lovely venue. Just to our left is the sea. This is a beautifully greened area surrounded by Norfolk Island pines. Our head judge is Eric. Our director of shooting, Jim Larvin. David Gaze and his team of Paul and Justin are running the audio and video. Your commentators are James Park and Taylor Worth.
The conditions are really still lovely out here. By the bomb radar, we're sitting at 21.4 degrees. Really nice conditions. Really still. Really, yeah, still.
Still.
Yeah. Oxymoron. Yeah, so we've led to really good scores this morning so far. And it's often that you see bronze medal matches score higher than gold medal matches because there is a medal on the line. Third obviously wins bronze, but fourth goes home with nothing.
Looking down the target end, because this is just practice. Alec has got 4 arrows down there at 10 and 9 and 2 eighths. Aston has got 4 arrows, 3 9s and a 7. And another one still to come, I think. Taylor's got lots of arrows down there at 10, 2 9s and 2 eighths. And Laura's got 2 10s, a 9 and a 7. Aston has got a nice group, just slightly to the right. And Aston's got 5 9s and a 7.
And I was just informed before the start of practice today that all 8 of the recurvers shooting today in the bronze and gold medal matches are in contention for World Championship selection.
Yep, all 8. And the compound men, all 4.
So it really just goes to show the calibre of shooting that we've got here at the National Matchplay Series final here in Victor Harbor.
So in the compound the semi-finals, I assume Jessica's just aiming straight in the middle, not allowing for any drift at all, Taylor?
I think so. That was the game plan, to kind of aim in the middle and get it to go off nice and easy.
She did it pretty successfully. 145, I think she scored, did she?
Yeah, that's correct.
That's a real classy score. That's a good score.
Even for this standard, it's amazing. But even for international standard, that's really quite high.
Would have won one of the men's matches. So
Yeah.
second highest score on the ground, I think, was it, Taylor?
Yeah, and she only shot a lower score than her boyfriend, Matt McDougall.
I guess he had to try and shoot high, didn't he?
Always.
He shot very well.
Yeah, 148, I think, on the
Yeah,
field.
148's a very good score.
It's very
Sort of score you need to get at a World Cup or World Championship. Good score.
just shows the strength of our match play shooters at the moment. It's pushing higher every year. Everybody's getting stronger.
Yep. Compound in the world events, you need to be up 148 to winning the matches. The ladies, well, yeah, 145, 146, you might win a match. You'd be winning matches. What would you have to average for the recurvers for three arrows, Taylor?
Average for us is pushing higher every year, Jim. Really, if you're not shooting 29s, you've got a 50-50 chance of winning or losing a set. So you really want to be shooting 2 10s and a 9 at least every set.
So it's quite a high standard.
It is. There was a World Cup not too long ago where Jeff Vandenberg was versing Luis Alvarez, I think, from Mexico. Luis won the first set, 29-27, and then continued to shoot 4 more 29s, but lost to 4 30s in a row.
You'd never think it would happen, would you?
No, it just goes to show the caliber of those international archers is absolutely amazing.
It's stunning. So in our selections, we're asking the recurvers to score at least 28 for the men and at least 27 for the women. In the selection events, we're rewarding them in the selections for each time the men get 28 or the ladies get 27 for the 3 arrows. Although, as Taylor mentioned, probably they need to get a bit more than that.
Well, I think 28 for us should be our minimum standard. That should be what we do on a bad set. Now,
in the first selection event, you got quite a few of those, didn't you, Taylor? In
I
our
did.
matches?
I did.
In our
Didn't get all of them, but
in our first selection event, the second day for the recurvers was all round robin matches. And the way we worked that is if the archer won the match, they got 2 points. But if they every end they got with 28 or more for the men or 27 or more for the ladies, they got a bonus point up to a maximum of 3 for each match. So in that, Taylor, well, the maximum points she could get was 60. Taylor got 52. So that was mostly 28 or more, Taylor.
Well, I'm glad somebody was keeping count.
Yeah, I had to. I was scoring. You ever got 330s in a match, Taylor?
No, I haven't shot 330s in a match yet, but I've had it done against me, and it's quite annoying.
That's a bit mean.
Yeah, to my good teammate Ryan Tyak. So
Yeah, that's pretty mean.
thanks, Ryan. I really appreciate that. But he's shooting well. He's shooting amazing. He'll be up later in the afternoon for the gold medal match. Sorry, against David Barnes.
If someone shoots 330s in a row, not much you can do there, is there? Just got to, say, oh well, they shot really well.
Yep. You just you got to accept it. Either tie them by shooting another 30 yourself, or just take it on the chin because you're outclassed in that match.
I've seen 2 compound matches in the World Cups where both the compounders shot 150 out of 150. Then they had a shoot off, and they both shot X's.
But that was back on the old rules when they didn't get to reshoot after they both shot
That's
X's.
right. So some in both those cases, an archer shot perfect score, then shot an X and lost.
That's the nature of our sport, I'm afraid.
Yes. So now our archers have had their 2 ends of practice. We will then go straight to the Recurve bronze medal matches.
I think the ladies are up first, Jim, is that correct?
That's right, Taylor.
So we've got Taylor and Laura up next for the Recurve bronze medal match.
So this is the Archery Australia 2019 National Matchplay Series Finals. Our sponsors are Hoyt and Pat's Archery. The event is being conducted on the foreshore of Victor Harbour by Victor Harbour Archery Club. The audio and visual has been looked after by David and his team, David Gaze, with Paul and Justin. Director of Shooting, Jim Larvin. Your commentators are James Park and Taylor Worth. So this is now the women's Recurve bronze medal match. On target 1, Taylor King. On target 2, Laura Paglis.
Shoot well, ladies. Australia is watching.
Nine.
Nice solid start from Taylor.
Seven. Laura's just to the left. Taylor's a little bit low. 9.
Feels like the breeze is starting to pick up a little bit.
Looks like it, Taylor. 7. So Laura's got 2 arrows next to each other in the 7 to the left. I think that one's a 5. So that's 23. 8 for 22.
During the middle of that set, I could feel the wind start to brush against my face through that one. So maybe there's a little bit of interference downrange that could be affecting the arrows.
Yeah, Taylor's arrow out to the left. So Taylor's assisted by Coach Richie. Laura assisted by Coach Arnold. Yeah, I think you're right, Taylor. I think there was a bit of a breeze then, although it looks still now. Oh, you can see the flags. Yeah, there's a bit of movement. Oh, yes. No, the breeze has gone away. But during the match, I think it was there.
Typical for archery at this rate. We spend all day shooting in the wind, and then once we've stopped, it goes calm.
It does. Okay, so we have 2 set points to Taylor and 0 to Laura. So that will be Laura on target 2 to shoot first. Eight.
Looks like we're waiting for the timing gear to buzz over.
That's right. Nine. Right in the middle of the X. Nine. Nine for 27 for Laura. So 10 to win the set for Taylor. 8. So I think there has gone to Laura. But we wait for the judges.
So by the looks of it, Laura's made the corrections for whatever was happening last set. She's really recentered in the middle.
There's a pretty nice X down there.
Looks like these two ladies are going to continue to fight through this match. It looks like it's all tied up 2-2.
Yep, the flip cards show 2-2. So we go to the original shooting order. Target 1 to shoot first. So it's Taylor to shoot first. Four. It's 5. 10. 8. 8 It's obscured from where I'm sitting, but I think it's probably a 9. Well, that's obscured, so 9 or a 10. It's at least a 9. And a 9. So there is 17, 21 for Taylor. 9. So the set there would go to Laura.
Looks like there could have been some nerves in that first shot from Taylor to pop the arrow up high, but she's worked hard with her coach to bring the arrows back to the centre for her last 2 shots. Just waiting for the judges downrange to confirm all the scores, and we'll update you on the set points.
Yeah, Laura's group's quite good. I couldn't tell whether the one arrow was a 10 or it looks from the holes in the target face, it looks like it might have been a 10. So it looks like to me that it was probably a 29 for Laura.
And that's enough to get her 2 more set points to take the lead in the match, 4-2 over Taylor.
So it's target 1 shooting first, Taylor shooting first. And Taylor needs to at least tie this set. Nine. Seven.
There's a chance here for Taylor to take a nice lead in this match. Or in this set, sorry.
8. Just high. 8. A little bit high.
A gold could clinch this set. We'll have to wait and see.
10. So that gives a 27 for Taylor. So Laura's got a free practice shot. And it's a 9. Slightly left.
Well, that's enough to help her reset for the next set. And hopefully her next 3 arrows will be a little bit closer to the centre for her.
So I think, Taylor, I think it should be 4-4.
By the sounds of it, but we will wait for the judge's confirmation on that first. Laura's shooting looks really strong at the moment, looks really smooth and calm and stable. And Taylor's shooting looks really quick, which is probably what she's picked up over the week, dealing with lots of wind. You want to make nice quick shots, so they're both doing the best they can to give themselves the best possibility of winning the match.
So what bows are our ladies using, Taylor?
Looks like they're both running Hoyt risers. Laura, it looks like she's using the new Formula X, which was released late last year by Hoyt.
I've got one of those too, Taylor. I think you got one of those as well.
I do. I've got another one on the way. I should arrive tomorrow, I think, at home. Hopefully my wife will be there to sign for it.
So it's original shooting order, because the scores are tied. So it's Taylor on target 1.
The whole match can come down to these last 3 arrows.
Ten.
That's how you want to start.
9.
Good response from Laura.
10.
Well done, Taylor.
9.
A 9 could clinch this set. An 8 would force Laura to shoot a 10 for a tie.
8.
There is a chance. Laura for a 10 to go to a shoot-off. For the bronze medal,
10, right in the
we
middle
have
of the X.
10. We go to a shoot-off.
Right in the middle of the X.
But we will wait
Yeah.
for judges' confirmation on that first.
Yeah, we commentators think it's a shoot-off. That was a pretty good set, eh, Taylor?
That was very good. Neither of them wanted to give an inch. They all both want this bronze medal as much as the other.
Hmm.
They're going to keep fighting for it no matter what.
So if it's a shoot-off, and we think it is, both archers shoot one arrow. It is indeed. The judges have confirmed a shoot-off. Both archers shoot one arrow. It's the nearest to the centre wins, but if they both shoot 10s, they do it again. And we go to the original shooting order. So it'll be Taylor to shoot first.
Great shooting by both ladies. Let's see it continue in the shoot-off.
That's a 7. About halfway out through the 7.
What can Laura reply with?
A 9.
A 9. Looks like unofficially at the moment, Laura has won the match. But great shooting by both of these ladies to push each other to a shoot-off for the first match of the day.
Our judges have confirmed that Laura is our bronze medalist. Taylor fourth. Nice match, ladies. Next we will have our men's bronze medal match. And I think that was Aston and Alec, wasn't it, Taylor?
I think it is, yeah. This will be a very exciting match as well. Both accomplished archers. Both can shoot quite high scores.
Alec has shot in Rio with a bronze medal, and Aston has shot in, I think, a couple of World Cups and the World Indoor, Taylor.
Yeah, and at the World Indoor, he won a silver medal in the team event as well. So
pretty impressive.
both impressive resumes from both archers.
And was that silver medal with you and Ryan?
Yes, it was. That was a very good competition for Australia all round, bring home 4 medals.
Which medal did you get, Taylor?
Well, silver with Aston and Ryan in the team event, but I also managed to bring home a bronze in the individual.
Pretty neat. And a few years earlier, Ryan won the indoor. So now we have our men's recurve bronze medal match. On target 1, Aston Darcy. Target 2, Alec Potts. This is the men's bronze medal match in the Archery Australia 2019 National Matchplay Series. Hosted by Victor Harbour Archery Club. Sponsors Hoyt and Pat's Archery. And Aston shooting first on target 1. Eight. Just low. Nine. Just just inside the line. Aston with a 9. Alec with a 9. Nine for Aston for 26. Eight for Alec for a 26.
So we've tied up the first set. That's how close these two are in shooting condition at the moment. It's going to be a really close match, I think.
And our coach for Alec is Simon Fairweather, one of our quite accomplished archers, very accomplished archers. You should give a wave, Simon. You still got hair, some hair.
Got a bit of salt and pepper in there, Si?
So it's a tied set, 1 set point each. So we keep with the original shooting order. Aston to shoot first on target 1.
The breeze has picked up slightly on that shot there.
You feel it over here, can't you, Taylor? Alec and
A little bit of a headwind at the moment, I think. Or right to left as well.
nine. Aston's got 2 arrows touching in the 9 at 4 o'clock. Alec a 7 at 3 o'clock.
So another gold here by Aston. Could clinch this set for him.
Ooh, I think it's probably a 9. It's close to the line, but I think it's probably hit the line for a 9. So I'm thinking a 27. And a 10. In fact, an X for Alec. So that would be a 26 for Alec. That all depends on whether Aston's is touching the line or not. I think it's probably touching. Yes, so Aston's arrow must indeed have been touching the line, because Aston's now got 3 set points, Alec 1. So it'll be Alec to shoot first on target 2.
So there was a tie on the first set, and then only 1 point separating them on the second set.
So a very tight match, eh, Taylor?
Very tight at the moment. Let's see what these men can do in the third set.
So Alec shooting first. And we've got the train, it's train going behind, across the road. Alec starting with a 10. 9 for Aston.
A little bit of distraction training going off in the background with the horn from the train.
9 for Alec. It's probably a 10 for Aston. It's pretty close to the line, but I'm guessing probably a 10. Eight for Alec for a 27.
That was quite a long hold there by Alec. He almost timed out. Got down to 2 seconds left.
7 for Aston. So I think it's probably a 26. Although there's one that's the judges need to decide. So I think that Alec has probably won that set.
Looks like the judge is getting out his magnifying glass. Must be pretty close to the line.
So our judge down at the examining the line calls is Eric. So it looks to us like Alec won that set as we expected. So it's a tied match at 3 set points each. So we go to the original shooting order. Aston to shoot first on target 1.
Was there also 1 point in that set, Jim?
I think there was, Taylor.
So that would mean out of 9 arrows so far, they are tied on score and now tied on set points.
I think so. Pretty tight.
Very close shooting by both of these gents.
And a little bit of breeze. I think it's a 9. Aston's hitting all the lines, but I think when he is actually hitting the lines, which is good, better than not just hitting the lines. And Alec is playing with the target line too. I think it's probably hit the line for a 9. We'll give our judges some work. Definitely an 8, just high for Aston.
The wind is picking up. You can see the shirts moving. And you can see the safety ropes on the side.
And Alec is playing with the target lines again, but I think that one's pretty solidly hit the 10 line. So I think Aston has got a 27, but there's one on the line. Alec definitely a 10, so Alec has got at least 28, probably 29. Yes, these archers are quite often hitting the target line. When you're shooting in these sort of conditions where you get a little bit of breeze, Taylor, or even a bit more breeze than now, how do you decide where to aim?
You decide where to aim by learning from your mistakes, really, Jim. So if you've made a really good, strong shot by aiming in the middle and you've gone sort of left-hand red or left-hand gold, sort of, you would either move your sight a little bit to counteract that, or you could aim on the corresponding side of the target.
With a recurve bow, and you're a pretty strong recurve bow, you get your windy conditions. How far out do you have to aim sometimes?
It really does depend on the day and the direction of the wind, but on something like today, you could maybe be aiming on the edge of the gold, seeing as everybody's going left at the moment. Gold on the right-hand side.
So Alec is 5 set points to Aston 3. You get conditions where you have to aim even out in the blue?
Our Friday round, the individual match play, I was actually aiming off the target completely to get it back into the middle. It was
serious.
that windy. It was very tricky.
Aston shooting first on target 1.
Aston must win this set to stay alive and force the second shoot-off of the day.
Ten.
That is a perfect start.
10.
A good response by Alec.
Eight.
The door is open now.
It's obscured from by me, but I think it's a 9.
A 10 would really help.
And it's a 10.
Perfect
should be
shooting.
28 for Aston.
Well done.
I think it's a 10 to win for Alec. And it's obscured again, but I think it's a 9.
Well, he did only need to tie that set
He
to
did
win
it.
the
You're,
match.
you're right, Taylor. So if he's got 2 9s, I think they're 9s. They're behind his first arrow from where I'm sitting. But that would give him 28, I think. So I think you're right, Taylor. I think that was probably the winning arrow.
We'll see what the judges have to say. Looks like we've got confirmation in from the judges. It was a tied set, which means Alec wins the bronze medal match. And Aston has finished 4th. Great shooting by both these guys.
So while they get organised for the practice for the gold medal matches, Taylor, you mentioned that in the wind on, was it Friday, you were actually aiming off the target to hit the target.
Yeah, that's correct. It was very blustery out at the Victor Harbour Archery Club. It was really coming off the mountains quite strong. It was pushing me a very long way.
That's, yeah, so you think, ooh, I'll just aim it. How far off the edge of the target?
Probably a whole sight ring off the edge of the target. I was lucky enough to have a shipping container behind me, so I could use the corrugated side of the shipping container as an accurate aiming point, but yeah, it was very strong.
Wow.
It was strong enough to make even some of the strongest compounders miss the target as well during their matches.
Yes.
That's shocking to see, because you don't normally see these guys miss the 10 very often, let alone miss the target completely.
And I think in World Championships, I think it was World Championship in Turkey a few years ago, and you were aiming way out in the black or something?
Yes, World Championships 2013 in Belek in Turkey. Very, very tricky conditions where we had archers filling their backpacks full of water to try and make themselves heavier, or changing their stabilizers completely with a load more weight to make it stronger for them.
So that's, I guess, experience, isn't it, Taylor, knowing where to aim?
Yep, all the experiences you get, but you also learn from your mistakes by getting it wrong and making corrections from there.
So one thing archers should do if it's windy is they should actually go out and shoot in it to know what to do.
Yep, you need to know how far you're going to be pushed when it comes left to right or right to left, versing a headwind, versing a tailwind. They're all completely different conditions. But it looks like I'll be leaving the commentary box very shortly, because I will be coaching Alice Ingley in the women's gold medal match.
Thank you, Taylor, and good luck.
I'll see you guys later for the men's gold medal match.
Have fun coaching. So we'll have now 2 ends of practice for the archers for the gold medal match in the recurve. This is the Archery Australia 2019 National Matchplay Series Finals. The sponsors are Hoyt and Pat's Archery. We've had a lot of help from Victor Harbour Removals in getting all the gear to the ground. The tournament is hosted by Victor Harbour Archery Club. The club's done a wonderful job with the events over the last few days and today. It's not an easy task running these events. The club has done it wonderfully well. The finals venue is, I think, very impressive. It's a lovely place on the foreshore of Victor Harbour. It's the Memorial Gardens. The grass is probably the greenest in South Australia. Just behind your commentators is the beach. Lovely beach.
I think, Jim, this may be the only green grass in South Australia at the moment.
You could be right, Grant. Our commentators are now James Park and Grant Cole, Archery Australia President.
Thanks, mate.
We've sent Taylor off to coaching duties.
Yes, and how impressive that is to have someone like Taylor coaching with you.
Good value.
I see Simon out there as well.
Yes, also Lynette coaching Ryan.
Yes.
Dave's coaching himself.
So, for the people just watching here, you can see that this is their practice. So, why is it that we give them practice just before they're shooting here?
Normally at a major event in the finals venue, we would have a separate practice area, Grant, and the archers would get to shoot a little bit of practice before their match, then come on to the finals venue and shoot matches straight up. But here we don't have a practice venue. I suppose we could use the beach, but no, we're using we don't have a practice venue, so we give the archers 2 ends of practice just so they can get used to the sight setting and the wind. So at a World Championship or a World Cup final, they'd be straight on and straight scoring straight away.
But they would have had a warm-up venue for that.
They would have had a warm-up venue next to or beside or behind the finals venue.
Yeah. And also, too, that would help them to get their muscle groups together, working properly, not going in cold and risking potential damage.
Exactly right.
It's a sport that when you stand here and look at it, you don't see a lot of movement. There's a lot of strength and conditioning that's required to shoot these bows.
Yes, these archers are shooting heavy bows. What have we got down there at the moment? We've got Dave and Ryan. Those 2 guys will be shooting seriously strong bows, 50 or more pounds. You don't do that without a lot of strength and conditioning, a lot of practice, a lot of arrows every day. It's not something that you'd ever expect the standard club archer to even get near.
So with these equipment, Jim, the arrows that these guys will be shooting, they're obviously not the ones that you just go down the local sports store and buy. You'd have to be going to specialist shops. Oh,
so I think the arrows are a specialist thing. That's where a lot of the score comes from. They're something that you should really only buy from your quality archery shop. They're sophisticated arrows, carbon fibre, small diameter to try and minimise the wind drift. From the look of the archers' arrows, they all look like they've got Eastern X10 arrows, as far as I can see.
That would be the pinnacle arrow in the sport at the moment.
It's the arrow that's been most successful and used by most of the archers, Grant. If you go along the target line at a World Cup or World Championship, these are the arrows that you see almost every archer using. Not every archer, but nearly all archers.
So these arrows from Eastern, they're made with aerospace aluminium with nanocarbon fibre?
They've got these particular arrows have got a small diameter aluminium tube down the middle, and around that they've got carbon fibre wrap. All the fibres go longitudinally. The arrows are very, very strong. Small diameter. The diameter of the arrows is about 5 millimetres, and most of the archers out there will be using tungsten arrow points.
And the weight variance in these arrows, do you think?
They'll be less than 1 grain, Grant, arrow to arrow. So that perhaps even the archers have gone to the trouble of making them perhaps half a grain.
Wow.
So they're quite uniform.
So that's incredibly high precision.
Yes, the arrow's very, very straight, and the arrows, I think, are the most important bit of equipment.
So how long would it take to build a set of these arrows to that sort of accuracy?
The archers are pretty quick. We should ask Pat how long it takes him to build a set of arrows. I know if I build a set of arrows, a couple of hours.
Okay, that's pretty quick.
Where's Pat sitting? How long would it take you to make a set of arrows?
If you're making a set of X10s, this is not including those spin wings that they're putting on. I guess doing it properly, probably a good couple of hours. You can race using different glues, but if you want to give them a chance to set correctly, you're probably looking at a couple of hours, especially once you need to grain them out to give them all the same sort of weight. Yeah, it takes a bit longer. And if you have a look on the Recurve arrows, those spin wings are pretty popular. Once you get the hang of it, I think they can potentially be quicker, but they take a bit of time. So yeah, making arrows properly takes a bit of time.
So again, I think the quality of the arrow assists with that. If you're buying a quality product, then obviously you're going to have less messing around building these types of things. And the spin wings themselves, we don't see them a lot in compound. Is that due to the flight speeds?
I think on the compound, it's if you use the vanes that they're using on the Recurve arrows, the vanes would hit the compound bow launcher, Grant. So generally not. Although with the Recurve, they almost always use the spin wing type vane. They almost always put them on by hand rather than the jig. And I've seen a Fletcher set of these arrows in maybe even half an hour. They're very quick.
Yeah.
Very important with the vanes that they all go on at the same angle. If they don't go at the same angle, and then the arrow will spiral a little as it goes down to the target, which is not so good.
Well, I know when I was shooting Recurve, I used to use the Biter tri-liner and the spin wing applicator from Biter.
Good idea.
Yeah, and again, using quality products to build quality arrows, it just makes life a lot easier.
Absolutely. You don't take any shortcuts with arrows.
No.
One of the things I do, Grant, is I've got my competition set of arrows, and I only shoot them for competition. I practice with an old set.
Yeah, rotation of arrows is important with this, and I guess once you've gotten through a few tournaments and stuff, then you'll downgrade those to your practice set and or your general set, and then build a new set of competition arrows.
Exactly so. So you don't waste your good competition ones on your everyday practice.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of people who've made the mistake of doing that and then damaged good arrows straight out of the box.
Now that concludes the practice for the gold medal match archers. So we'll now go to the gold medal matches. We'll have the ladies first, and then the men.
Looking forward to some exciting shooting.
Some pretty good archers there, Grant, which is good.
Yes, certainly a lot of people here who'll be biting to get into the Olympic team coming up for 2020.
Yes, all four of these archers are trying for the Australian team for the World Archery Championships.
Well, good luck to all of you.
So this is the women's gold medal match of the 2019 National Matchplay Series. On target 1, we have Sarah Haywood. Target 2, Alice Ingley. Target 1, Sarah is shooting first. Low 7. It's an 8 at 10 o'clock. Eight. Ten. Nine for 24 for Sarah. It's at least a 9. It might be a 10. So it's at least a 27. Could be 28 for Alice.
Well, we're underway here, people. I think one of the things I like about the Recurve is the point system that they do run.
Yes, it means that the archer can have a bad set but still be in the competition, where if a compound a bad arrow and you're in trouble.
Yeah.
I should mention now our sponsors. It's the Archery Australia 2019 National Matchplay Series Final. Our sponsors are Hoyt and Pat's Archery. Victor Harbour Removals has got all the gear here today. Our audio and visual team is David Gaze and helped by Paul and Justin. Our head judge is Eric. And Jim Larvin is the director of shooting. Your commentators at the moment are James Park and Grant Cole. Grant is the Archery Australia president.
So I've got to say this venue, apart from being spectacular, this club has doing an amazing job of this event. And it goes to show that you don't have to be a big club to host events like this.
The set points are shown. Alice is 2 and Sarah 0. So Alice is leading. Sarah will shoot first on target 1. Yeah, the club has really shown that you can do it, and do it really well, haven't they, Grant?
Indeed. A good example.
So Sarah shooting first. And it's a bit windy. 9. 8. 9. 8. 7 for 25. 9 for 25. So we wait and see what the judges think, but we commentators think that's a shared set.
We do.
The coaches on the line, Sarah's coach, Simon Fairweather, a very accomplished archer, Olympic champion, world champion, I think also world indoor champion, team champion. I think that's right, isn't it, Simon? You guys won a world indoor team event, 1999, in Cuba. How's that from memory? And you had a cigar to celebrate? You'd have to, wouldn't you, in Cuba? And Alice's coach is Taylor Worth, one of our other very accomplished archers, Olympic medalist, high ranked in the world. So as well as 2 very good archers, we've got 2 exceptional archers as the coaches. So the set points are 3 to Alice and 1 to Sarah. Sarah to shoot first on target 1.
Good tight match and anybody's game.
Just got a small pause for a moment. Oh, so we've got to get some arrows back for the archers.
It makes it difficult without them.
Yeah, you have to shoot them, imagine them. I can imagine some really good shots.
So for our young archers who are watching these young women here shooting today, you'll notice just how steady and how good their form is, and that happens with a lot of hard work and coaching. If you're going to do anything in this sport, I guess like all sports, you've got to put the hours in.
Yes, generally we're asking our recurvers to shoot about 200 arrows a day, about 5 days a week, right?
Well, that's a few arrows there, Jim.
Certainly is. And here come the arrows. Away we go. Sarah shooting first on target 1. Eight. Right in the middle of the X. 6. Low right. 9. Just under the 10. 6. Sarah's got all 3 arrows a bit low right. 9.
Very consistent shooting there.
28 for Alice. One of Alice's arrows, if you'd gone down there and pushed it in the target, you couldn't have got it more central. And looks to me like 20 for Sarah. Yes, Alice's arrow, if you see, you go down and poke it in the target, that's where you'd poke it.
It's one of those magic moments in time.
I reckon. They're the ones I want, Grant.
They're the ones I dream of, but I don't seem to deliver. So the sights on these recurve bows, Jim, they differ from the ones that we see on our compound.
The compound we're allowed to have magnifying lenses. You're certainly not allowed to have anything magnifying in a recurve bow sight, but you can have a lens, but it's got to be not magnifying. Some of the archers use those. Some use dots. Some just use an open ring.
Mm-hmm.
So it varies a little bit, but they're generally quite a simple sight, right? Whereas the compound sight will usually be a magnifying lens and a bubble level.
Yep.
These bows not allowed a bubble level.
So if I'm not mistaken, we're looking at a couple of Shabua sights out here at the moment.
It has that look to it, right? It's target 1 shooting first. And this set Sarah needs to win to stay in the match. Alice needs only a tie. Seven, a little low. 8 to the left. 7 low. 9. 10. So that's a 24 for Sarah, lovely shot. Right in the X.
Solid shooting.
So that's 27 and I think a win for Alice. Would like to mention our audio and visual team. Rachel Coughlin has done a stunning amount of work together with Pat prior to the event, and with a lot of really good video showing particularly this site. A lot of hours have gone into that, and some really good video produced. And Rachel together with David Gaze's team bringing you all the coverage of today.
Yes, Rachel has done an amazing job. And, you know, it's good to see such a good sponsor like Pat's Archery behind this event, you know, helping to deliver a great product for Australia.
Does make a difference, doesn't it, Grant?
Makes a big difference.
And confirming that our winner of the gold medal match is Alice Ingley and Sarah Haywood second.
Congratulations, guys. Next up, we have the men's.
So it's the Archery Australia 2019 National Matchplay Series, sponsored by Hoyt and Pat's Archery, hosted by Victor Harbour Archery Club on the lovely foreshore of Victor Harbour. Beautiful setting.
Well, I'll hand back over again to someone who knows a little bit more about Recurve than I do.
So we've got Taylor back. On target 1 in the men's gold medal match, David Barnes. On target 2, Ryan Tyack. Two very classy archers. Target 1, David shooting first.
I've taken my coaching hat off. My commentary one's back on. Let's go, boys. Let's make this a nice, exciting match.
It's an 8 for Dave. A little bit high on the left, to the left. 10 for Ryan. Nine. Ten. Nine. So that's 26 for Dave. X for Ryan. So it's a 30.
Well, that's definitely one way to open your gold medal match when you're dropping the 30s. So, incredibly high level of shooting from these two boys.
Both these two archers are very accomplished, Taylor.
Yeah, both very accomplished internationally. David Barnes, Olympian from 2004.
Also a junior world record, I think, that still stands.
And he won a senior world championship bronze medal.
Yes, that was in New York in 2003.
And Ryan's a multiple youth world championship winner.
World indoor champion.
And Olympic bronze medalist with me as well.
So both very accomplished archers. They wouldn't mind the pressure. So we've got Ryan has got 2 set points, Dave nil. Ryan with his 30 on the opening end. So it's David to shoot first. On target 1.
Both of these gents have been shooting phenomenal scores all week, throughout our trials and practice days as well. So it's great to see them in this gold medal match this afternoon.
X. Ten. Nine, just under the 10. Ten. Nine for 28. Nine for 29.
Well, the execution on his last shot probably wasn't as smooth as he'd like compared to his first 5 shots, which were 5 straight 10s, but 29 is all it took to win that set, so he'll be happy with that.
And we've got Simon Fairweather assisting Dave Barnes and Lynette assisting Ryan. And I think, Taylor, you and Dave and Ryan, you got a medal at the most recent World Cup.
We did, yes. Berlin World Cup 4 last year. The three of us, it was the first World Cup the three of us have been together. Managed to rank high enough in the team rounds and push all the way through to the bronze medal match.
And you got an individual one as well.
I did, yes. I managed to make my own way to the bronze medal match against Steve Weiler from the Netherlands.
And win. So we have Ryan on 4 set points, Dave on 0. So it's David to go shoot first on target 1. So David shooting first. Eight. High right. 10.
That was a much cleaner looking shot from Ryan. He'll be happy with that.
10.
That was a lovely looking shot from Dave. He'd be really happy with that as well.
10. 9 for 27 for Dave.
Good finish from Dave. 10 for an 89.
10.
89 out of a possible 90 points for Ryan Tyack.
Marvellous shooting. Marvellous shooting. That's really high quality.
Don't worry, Dave. I know what it's like. He's done it to me many times.
Actually, he was slack. He shot a 9 in the second end. That's very high quality, guys. So we've got to wait for the judges, of course, because until the judges have decided, it's not decided. But I think we know what the answer is. The scores have gone up, so we can confirm that Ryan has won the gold medal and David the silver.
Great shooting by both of these archers out there this morning. Well done to both of you. Congratulations, Ryan, on the gold and David on the silver.
And nice to see some spectacular shooting. So we're now up to lunch, I think, Pat. Okay, so it's an hour for bronze practice for the compound archers at 10 to 1. This is the Archery Australia National Matchplay Series final for 2019. The sponsors are Hoyt and Pat's Archery. You'll notice the big removals truck over behind the spectators. Victor Harbour Removals have helped immensely getting all the gear here. The director of shooting has been is Jim Larvin. Our head judge is Eric. Our audio visual team, we've got Rachel Coughlin, David Gaze, and his team of helpers are Paul and Justin, doing a wonderful job. And your commentators, James Park, assisted by Taylor Worth, and at other times by our Archery Australia President Grant Cole. And I have to say, your coaching work there was pretty spectacular, Taylor. You're 2 for 2, aren't you now?
Yeah, I'm 2 from 2 at the moment. I'll be back on the coaching box this afternoon for Jessica Sutton's gold medal match. But I'm afraid this is where my commentary skills elude me, so I will be passing the torch on to somebody else for the afternoon.
Thanks very much for your work, Taylor. We've enjoyed it.
You're welcome.
And
Good to
we'll
be
see
here.
you at the resumption of competition.